Hi everyone. My name is GVR Lakshman Rao, lecturer in mining engineering, Government Polytechnic, Bellampalli. The main objective of today's class is to know various explosives used in open cast mining, especially in the previous class we discussed various explosives used in open cast mines in India. In underground mines, only permitted explosives are used. In open cast mines, the usage of explosives is very high. In terms of quantity, the amount of energy required to break the rocks are very high. So, high explosives are used in open cast mines. But in the previous class, we discussed various explosives used in underground open cast mines, especially ANFO slurry explosives. It is very useful to discuss for 3 to 5 minutes what we discussed in the previous classes is very useful to remember or to recap it. Large quantities of explosives are used in open cast mines. Different companies are producing it. The main explosive which is used in underground mines is ammonium nitrate fuel oil explosive. Ammonium nitrate is the fertilizer which is used for our agriculture fields are enough to act as an explosive. Some amount of 5 to 9% of fuel oil or diesel is mixed with ammonium nitrate. Such explosive is called ANFO or ammonium nitrate fuel oil mixture, fuel oil explosive. In shortcut, we call it as ANFO, ANFO. Its specific gravity is very less when compared with other explosives, less than 1.8 to 1. Weight strength is 75 to 80 and VOD is 3500 meters per second. This mixture is not detonated by itself. A detonator is used to explode the ammonium nitrate fuel oil explosive, either a detonator or booster. I will tell in the next class whenever it comes initiators. Under the topic initiators, I would like to deal the subject of boosters. So it is not used in watery holes because its density is very less, so it will not reach the bottom of the hole. The another one is slurry explosives. A slurry explosive, already we discussed in the yesterday's class. A slurry explosive is usually a mixture of high explosive such as TNT, which is a reducing agent, ammonium nitrate an oxidizing agent. Water is also mixed to become like slurry. Slurry is nothing but a semi-solid state of, it looks like liquid, but it is not liquid, it is not as well as solid also. It is semi-solid condition. 20:65:15, 20% reducing agent like TNT, 65% ammonium nitrate, and 15% water. This is general metallic powder. In addition to the metallic powder is used to act as a sensitizer. Its specific gravity is more than 1, density 1.2 grams per centimeter cube. VOD is approximately 3000 to 4500. In recent trend is the slurry explosives are supplied by various companies. One special purpose vehicle is used to carry or to transport the vehicle from a mixing plant. Generally, the mixing plant is situated or constructed near a center point of 2 to 3 miles within 5 to 6 kilometers. Where the slurry is loaded into the vehicle, and this will be brought to the site of mine. From the vehicle, this slurry will be charged in the holes, open cast holes. Directly the vehicle will travel from the site to the bench. The required slurry will be loaded into the holes. It has different composition already explained in the last class. Sometimes if the cracks are present, lot of amount of slurry will enter into the cracks. To avoid this, or if the presence of water is more in the particular area, the slurry will be packed in the polythene bags. This polythene bag will be sent to the bottom of the hole by inserting a booster or detonator. Then it will be blasted. Usually 125 to 125, 175 to 200 mm dia holes cartridges are prepared. Its weight varies from 6 kgs, 8.33 and 12.5 kgs respectively. Some of the companies they are producing slurry explosives are IEL, IDL, Indian Explosives and Indian Detonators Limited. Their trade name is Powerflow 2, like that. Before entering into the next explosive, it is very much necessary to know. Up to this, yesterday we completed the up to this we completed yesterday class. Okay. What is cap sensitive? What is non-cap sensitive explosives? Most of the high explosives are blasted with the help of detonators. Such explosives are called cap sensitive explosives. Slurry explosives like Energel, Supergel, Powerflow 1, Powerflow 2, Powerflow 3 are not cap sensitive explosives. Non-cap sensitive explosives, some of the explosives are initiated by small explosive cartridge called booster. Before entering into this topic, it is very much necessary to know how burning of any material will take place. As everybody knows that coal is a substance which burns. In fact, the coal is, we are using the coal to burn. Okay. The burning temperature of coal is nearly, suppose, 800-900 degrees centigrade. Depends upon various ingredients present in the coal. Generally, for the sake, if it is 900 degrees centigrade. With the help of match, a stick of matches, if you take a stick of matches, after lighting the matches, if you keep the flame to the coal will not burn. To burn the coal, it is very much necessary to supply the temperature requires to burn. So, if the intensity of temperature is less, to supply the 900 degrees of temperature, 900 degrees centigrade temperature to the coal, then only it will burn. Until that, it will not burn. Like that, anything can burn whenever it got or it acquires the burning temperature. Here, the explosives which are burned or which are exploded with the help of detonators, those explosives are called cap sensitive explosives. The explosives which are burned with the help of detonator, those explosives are called cap sensitive explosives. The explosives which are not required to burn a detonator is called non-cap sensitive explosives. There are two types of explosives, cap sensitive, non-cap sensitive. To explode a certain explosive, if the detonator is must, then the explosives are called cap sensitive explosives. If the explosives are not required any detonator, but A booster is required. I will tell in the initiators what is booster. A booster is also an high explosive. A booster can be exploded by a detonator only. Here you are supposed to remember one thing. Either detonator or booster is necessary to burn any explosive. If the detonator is initiates, then the explosives is called captions to explosives. If the explosives are exploded by a booster, then the explosives are called non-captions to explosives. But the booster explodes by a detonator. Booster itself it will not detonate. A detonator is required. A detonator is required to explode a booster. So either booster or detonator is required. For booster explosion, a detonator is required. I think up to this you need to understand. Here the principal ingredients of explosives, slurry explosives, is ammonium nitrate, water, sugar, ammonium powder as sensitizer, sodium chloride, sodium nitrate, gum as a binding material. The best performance of slurry explosives obtained with 4 months from the date of manufacture. So the shelf life to get very good results or high efficiency, you need to use this explosive within 4 months of time. If the time duration is more, what happens is it absorbs certain amount of water present in the atmosphere, water vapor present in the atmosphere. So because of the water, it will not give its full efficiency. Okay. The standard safety test conducted by slurry explosives is burning test. By burning, at what temperature it burns and how the continuity will be there. These are the tests. In our syllabus it is not what are the tests, just their name is there. Another test is friction and impact test. Friction and impact test. Friction test, certain amount of explosive, a certain friction will be developed. At what friction the explosives are exploding. And impact test, the another one is impact sensitivity by fall of hammer test. A hammer will be allowed to fall on certain amount of explosive, it is exploded or not, will be they will see whether is it exploded or not. The another test is rifle bullet test. a bullet will be shooted onto the explosives, whether is it exploded or not, they will see. Sensitivity of flame head test. Fuse, by inserting fuse, they used to see whether at what time, at what temperature these explosives are exploded. Slurry explosives which pass these tests are to be allowed to use in open cast mines. These are having low non-toxic fumes and do not cause headache. Generally, almost all explosives are having nitrates as an ingredient, either sodium nitrate, potassium nitrate, whatever be nitrate it may be. Whenever it burns, there is a possibility of producing nitrous fumes like NO2, N2O3, N2O2, like that. These are in slurry explosives. It produces less amount of nitrous fumes. That's why there is a possibility of getting headache is less. These are slurry explosives. The another explosives which are used is emulsion explosive, ammonium nitrate fuel oil, nitroglycerin, ammonium nitrate fuel oil, slurry explosives. This is emulsion explosives. This is a new type of explosives. An emulsion emulsion is an intimate mixture of two liquids that do not dissolve in each other. Emulsion explosive is a mixture of two separate liquids. But generally, if two liquids are having intimate contact, then there is a possibility of dissolving each other. If sugar or jaggery and salt placed at the same place, after some time there is a possibility of mixing each other. Here in emulsion explosive, they have intimate mixture, they have intimate contact, but they do not dissolve each other. So the mixing of these two liquids will not take place. It is more technical terms. An emulsion is described as a two-phase system in which an inner or dispersed phase is distributed in an outer or continuous phase. Here these two liquids having intimate contact, they are dispersed. At the core place, one type of liquid will be there. In the outer space, these two phases or these two are having distributed in a continuous phase. The one more important aspect of emulsion explosives is the unique feature, not like in another explosives, is both oxidizer and fuel are liquid. Generally, at least one of the either oxidizer or fuel, out of these two, at least one is a solid. Whereas in emulsion explosives, oxidizer and fuel both are liquids. The emulsion slurry contains ammonium solution at high temperature combined with diesel oil and an emulsifier. Generally, the slurry solution contains ammonium nitrate solution at high temperature and combined with the diesel oil. This is the composition of emulsion explosives. The unique properties of emulsions are minute size of nitrate solution droplets, tight compaction with continuous fuel phase. Generally, by definition itself, an explosive is solid or liquid or mixture of these two, solid or liquid, which changes themselves instantaneously into huge volume of gases whenever shock, flame or pressure applied to it. For exploding anything, in the first class we discussed about this thing. For explosion, three things are very much necessary. One is fuel or combustible material, another one is oxidizer or supply of oxygen, the remaining thing cooling agent, sensitizer, stabilizer, like this, all these are the ingredients. Here in emulsion explosive, the fuel and oxidizer, these two are liquids. Minute size of nitrate solution droplets. So in nitrate solution will be having a continuous contact with the fuel. So the supplier of oxygen supplier, while burning anything, must be having the intimate contact. Otherwise, if the oxygen supplier is one end and the fuel is one end, during burning in the fuel end, the oxygen will not supply. So these two are compacted each other. Emulsion emulsifier passed through a fast moving blender. A blender is nothing but a blending machine will be there. This emulsifier will be sent into the blender. Blender mixes the ingredients into pump. At the other side, a pump will be fitted. Pump able emulsion with grease like consistency. This blender blends the emulsifier. It looks like a grease. Resultant emulsion slurry is made up of microscopic droplets of ammonium nitrate surrounded by fuel oil film. Here, after entering the emulsifier and fuel into the blending machine, the blending machine blends the solution. It looks like a grease. It looks like a grease. So, a slurry is made up of microscopic droplets of ammonium nitrate surrounded by a fuel oil film. The droplets are nothing but air bubbles, microspheres is nothing but air bubbles. Microspheres make emulsions detonatable. The air bubbles which are present in this emulsion microspheres make emulsions detonatable. No sensitization by aluminum but by move air bubbles. Generally, a sensitizer is not required because direct air is allowed to stay there in the form of microspheres. Small gaps will be there. Those are nothing but microspheres. This gap is filled by air. So generally what happens in case of all other explosives, an oxidizer will burn and supplies oxygen to the remaining fuel. Here in emulsion explosives it will not be like that. Microsphere make emulsions detonatable. So there is a maximum energy, no sensitization by aluminum but by air bubbles. Air bubbles, because of its direct availability of air in the explosive itself, there is a explosion is very easy. There is a maximum energy generation will occur because of the fuel and air is readily available. So no need to convert the oxidizer into supply of oxygen. Because of this reason, maximum energy generation is possible. Energy generation because of intimate contact to energy generation, the maximum is possible because the fuel and oxidizer are at the same place and they have intimate contact with each other. If these two are far away, they will not burn at the same time. Okay, that's why maximum generation of energy is possible in emulsion explosives because there is fuel and oxidizer. These two are having intimate contact. Glass microbubbles, microballoons and perlites used to maintain sensation by aeration. These are used in small diameter products. Glass microballoons and pertiles used to maintain sensitization by aeration. These are used in small diameter products. Emulsion explosives, these explosives entirely depends on presence of voids for initiation. Already a point we discussed in the previous slide is detonation is done because of air bubbles present in the or microspheres present in the explosion. So the initiation is nothing but causing of explosion is presence of voids for initiation. Propagation, change in amount of voids affects a change in density. As all of you know that density is nothing but mass per unit volume. If the porosity or voids present in the mass is more or voids are more, what happens is the space occupied by a material is more. That's why the density, because density is nothing but mass by volume. If the volume is more and the same mass is not, if the mass is constant, the density of a material will be reduced. So if the voids are more in the emulsion or because of the microspheres or droplets voids present in the emulsion explosive, the density of an explosive is less. Explosives cannot be gelled cross-lessened because these explosives are not gelled. Certain gel is not applied. Gelatinized explosives, it is not like a gelatinized explosives. Not have gel structure. These are not having any gel structure. Velocity of detonation is surd means irrational. It varies from place to place. It varies from explosive to explosives because of the density and the air bubbles present in the matter. VOD is good indicator or reaction efficiency. VOD depend upon the particle size. VOD is nothing but velocity of detonation. If the velocity of detonation is more, the effect of the explosion will be more. VOD is nothing but the rate of the rate at which the velocity wave shock wave passes through the column of explosion. If it is more or 3000, 4000, 5000 meters per second, its ultimate effect will be very high. VOD depends upon particle size. If it is the particle size is very less, then the VOD will be more. If the VOD will be more, the effect of the explosion will be more. This is the Sun 90 emulsion explosives. It is in the form of a cartridge. Generally, the emulsion explosives cartridges are like this. A polythene bag is used to keep the entire material at a place. Otherwise, because it looks like a liquid, it will occupy whatever be the shape it may be. It will occupy the container. So this Sun 90 is one type of emulsion explosives. Generally, today we discussed the emulsion explosives which are used in open cast mines. The one main point to be remembered is the unique feature of emulsion explosive is that both the oxidizer and the fuel are solids, powders, liquids, gases. Generally, the questions asked like this in competitive exams. Exams. Because it is a peculiar one, it is very much necessary to kept in mind. Emulsion explosives, both the fuel and oxidizers, both are liquids. There is a possibility to ask the questions like explain the composition and features of emulsion explosives. These are the probability of asking questions. Generally, this cartridge, the emulsion explosives cartridge looks like this. The emulsion explosives cartridge looks like this. Sun 90. Trade name, we are unable to identify its trade name. Okay, in the next class, almost all open cast explosives are the explosives which are used in open cast are completed. The next one is heavy ion flow. It is nothing but ammonium nitrate fuel oil, heavy ion flow. The blend of base of emulsion with a density around 1.35 grams per centimeter cube, and ANFO, which creates the voids, is known as heavy ANFO. Absolutely, there is no difference between these two. The production of ANFO is done by mixing ANFO with emulsion, which are stored in separate tanks or bulk trucks. Generally, the ratio of emulsion versus ANFO is 30:70 or 50:50 or 70:30. That is heavy ANFO. Open cast explosives are completed by these topics. Okay, thank you.